Rain falls down the kingdom Grandhaven. The streets are quiet, uncommon for this time of year. A young Dargan woman stumbles and falls to the cold, damp ground, eyes wide, searching the night for help. Her clothes are tattered, her cold reptilian skin wrapped so tightly to her bones anyone could tell she hasn't eaten for days. Her tail bruised from top to bottom, her hands worn and bloody. She is on her last leg. Finally, she sees a bar in the distance. She can hear the bustling of men as they cheer and get drunk. Not a care in the world. Walking closer, she finds the sign that says, "Humans only." She knows the consequences of going in, but she has no choice. It is here or nowhere. She enters the bar, and all the fun and laughter stops. Every eye turns to look at her, many in anger, others in confusion. "Please, help me," she pleads. "My child was taken. I fear it might be poachers." No one turns to help. They all continue to stare, the tension in the room building. She stumbles to the bar, continuing to beg for help. "Please, anyone. It has been days. I fear he might be dead." The bartender turns away from her, while 3 young knights approach her from behind. For the citizens of Grandhaven, these black-clad soldiers are a symbol of hope, but for outsiders like her, it's a different story. Their pristine armor informs her that they are recent graduates from the academy, and their stench tells her they have been celebrating for hours. Yet, more importantly, it's their eyes that scare her most. One look into them, and she can sense that they have the worst intentions. But what choice does she have? "Please, good men, as protectors of this land, please, I beg of you, help me." The Dargan mother's request only leads to the young men snickering in her face. "Ha! Oi, mate, the rumours must be true." One of the knights snickers at the other. "These overgrown lizards must have the brains the size of peanuts." "Clearly, they are as dumb as they are ugly. Can't even read the damn sign outside," the other replies back. At this point, the 3rd knight steps up to put his arms around his comrades. "Come on, lads. Aren't we the great knights of Grandiose? We're here to assist this fine lady." He mocks as he grabs her by the shoulders tightly. He then pulls her back off the bar. Now stumbling down, she knows this was a mistake. She catches herself before hitting the cold stone floor, just to be pushed to the ground forcefully by another of the young men. The bar erupts in laughter, all except one man. The young knights continue to pull and shove the young Dargan woman towards the front of the bar, until she is forcefully kicked through the door. Bruised and now more bloody than before, she tries to escape into the cover of the night, only for one of the young knights to stop her. "You know it's bad enough your kind live on our streets unwelcomed. But then you have the nerve to come into our bar and beg to find your little mutt," he slurred. One of the other knights steps beside his comrade. "Be honest with you, I hope the damn thing is dead. Roasted up good in someone's belly." The 3rd knight steps forward as he unsheathes his sword. "Think we should do the world a favor. Make sure she doesn't make another one any time soon." They surround her with their blades drawn. The 1st knight pulls back, prepared to swing his sword when the blade is yanked from his hand. They turn back to see who dare interfere with their business, and there stands the man from the bar. the only one that chose not to find pleasure in her misfortune. She could see now that he too is a knight, but unlike the others, his armor is worn, with a single cape draped from his shoulder, his blade stained with battle, and his hands are scarred from years of service. Yet even with his hard exterior, he glistens in the night. His stand, that of a hero. It's then she recognizes him. Sir Nolan of Riverhaven, a legend among knights. I may be mistaken, but I don't remember the Knight's Oath saying anything about executing those in need, Nolan says with a smile. The three young knights turn towards Nolan enraged. Who the hell do you think you are? One of them yells, while the others grip their blade cowerly behind him. Unlike their belligerent comrade, they recognize Nolan immediately. From the looks of your gear, Nolan jokes as he moves closer to the men, I'd say I'm your superior, but if an introduction is necessary, I'll gladly oblige. He adds with a smile while he plays with the young man's weapon. I am Sir Nolan, the Steel-Fist Knight of Riverhaven, first of my name and squad leader of the 1096th Platoon, he declares with such passion that just for a moment the rain stops to take notice. Nolan's showmanship does nothing to diffuse the now disarmed man. Instead, it takes his drunken rage to another level. He steps forward towards Nolan, making his intentions clear. I don't give a shit if you're the fucking king! Give me my goddamn sword back! The young man screams with rage as he swings his fist towards Nolan's head. Without hesitation, Nolan dodges the attack. The young knight continues to swing wildly, while Nolan evades each one. The Dargan woman watches on in amazement, knowing that she should take this moment to flee. However, she is mesmerized. Maybe because the attack has left her weak, but more likely it's Nolan's heroic aura. Her heart races as he moves through the rain like a fish swimming in the ocean. The grace of his movement only outdone by his rugged beauty. This man is the hero she wished she encountered when she entered that bar. The attacking knight finally steps back, now winded. His anger has boiled over, and he knows he is outmatched. Yet his pride won't let him retreat. What the hell are you two doing? He cries over his shoulder towards the other knights. Get off your asses and attack him! The two hesitate, knees shaking as the sweat from their palms run down their blades. As they inch closer, they realize the mistake they are about to make. But whether it be drunken pride or youthful arrogance, they attack anyway. Nolan releases the enraged knight's weapon from his grasp, and for the first time since arriving, the smile on his face erased. And here I hoped we wouldn't need my fist to teach you this lesson in humility, Nolan says as he switches to a fighting stance. Then with the speed of lightning, his fists make contact with the disarmed knight. In the same motion, he sweeps the legs of the second. Then before his body can hit the ground, Nolan knocks the weapon from the third. The first knight stumbles to the ground with blood flowing from his nose. He watches as Nolan makes fools out of his friends. Taking both men by the hand, Nolan simultaneously breaks a finger on each of the two knights with a loud snap before tossing them to the side of their bloodied comrade. Allow your broken bones to be a reminder of the oath you took to protect the inhabitants of this world, not just the ones you deem fit, Nolan preaches as he stands over the young men. You're a bloody monster. Just like that lizard whore. The bloodied knight slights as he grimaces from the pain of his broken nose. You're going to regret taking the side of that immigrant over your own kind. He gathers the other two and starts to retreat. He then turns back and exclaims, "It's bastards like you that are ruining Grandiose!" before running into the cover of the night. Nolan walks over to the dog and woman, with a smile returning to his face. He helps her up to her feet while wiping the mud from her face. Do not let the ignorance of those young men have you lose faith in humanity, he says sincerely as he helps her down the road. Please, sir, my son, he's missing. Please help. The doggenwood breathes, each word followed by a cough. Her legs give out, but Nolan quickly catches her before she hits the ground. Easy, you're hurt. Let's not make things worse, he says again, helping her to her feet. My squad and I apprehended a group of poachers earlier this morning. Among their captives is a young Dargan boy. Let me take you to him, Nolan says, reassuringly knowing her son is safe and waiting. She lays her head on Nolan's chest and begins to cry as the night sky clears up while they continue down the streets of Grandhaven. I cannot thank you enough, but won't there be repercussions for helping someone like me? She asked. Nolan looks her in the eyes, his smile beginning to grow larger as he explains. I am a knight of the great land Grandiose. I took an oath to serve all of its kind equally. Trust me, fair lady, I'll be fine.